as he's talking so it won't be so bad. Thank you. Pat, you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We just gonna start.
Let's go straight in.
Hey fam, it's your girl Nick. What's up, Pat?
This, this your boy Pat. What to do, everybody?
So having a little technical difficulties tonight, so you get no themes, no frills, just us talking tonight.
Now, come on, let's
Um,
do it. Ah.
you just gonna acapella it.
Man, we go Acapulco. We going Acapulco. We gonna do it.
All right. So hey fam, it's your girl Nick. Pat's on. He's not on camera tonight, but you can hear him in full effect. And so we've been talking about love and relationships and how you navigate the highs and lows, the ups and downs. So I thought tonight we would talk about like boundaries.
And that's crazy because I just did a seminar on boundaries this Monday.
So let's
Crazy.
I think we should talk about boundaries and I think we should talk about well we'll just start with boundaries. So Pat, since you did something on Monday, let's talk about it.
Uh-oh. Where you want me to start?
Wherever you want to start.
Well, one thing that I have learned, um, and I want to be very clear, and Nick, you and I have talked about this countless times. The reality is, y'all, people don't respect boundaries. They don't. They really don't. They do not respect boundaries. And the truth of the matter is that boundaries are not to govern others' behaviors, but rather a boundary is to guide your own behavior. And many of us don't know the difference between a boundary and a rule. And what we think is a boundary, in actuality, is us setting a rule for people. And a boundary, to just say it in the sense as it relates to relationships, just to kick this out here, and I'm gonna dip out. Y'all, boundaries does not keep me from being an individual. Most of the times, people want you to love them and lose yourself. And that's not what it's supposed to be. It doesn't mean that in order for me to love you, I have to lose me. But a lot of people will do that because they are coming into the relationship with fears from their past and to feel safe, bunny ears, that this won't be a repeat of what I've already gone through. Then what they're putting on you in the form of a boundary is actually a rule that they are setting for you to make them feel safe so that they won't repeat the pain of their past.
So that they won't repeat the pain of their past.
Yes.
Funny you should say that. Because I feel like people don't even understand that a boundary is not a rule.
Not at all. They are two totally different things. Absolutely.
And so I like to tell people the boundary is what protects you.
Yes.
The rule is what you assess on other people.
Yes.
So how do you get people to understand the difference?
Well, the to understand the difference is really based on communication style and how you communicate it. Let's give you an example. If you and I are talking and you said, "Hey Pat, I need to chat with you later." And I said to you, Nick, I do not take calls after 10 p.m. I just gave you my boundary. Because I let you know a personal guide that I use to govern me. I do not take calls, but if I tell you, I don't call me after 10. Now, if I'm telling you to or not to do something, I'm establishing a rule on you. And my thing is, I can't govern your behavior. I just need to let you know how I operate. I don't, you know what? Let's just take it back for a minute. When I was teaching school, I used to tell the young ladies to do this when a young boy wanted to talk to her. And I said, and just we did it as a kind of a joke and see what happened. I said, tell a young boy that's walking up to you that's interested in you, tell him, I don't date young men that wear their pants below their waist, and watch how many of them pull them up. Because they understand that in order for me to connect with you, that's your boundary. Oh my God, which means that's your standard. And so when I understand that you have a certain standard, what some people do is they like to demonize you for having a standard. Because I don't like, let's be real, how many of us as a kid, people defy rules. I want y'all to clean this house up before I get home. And most people, if they grew up in the neighborhood that I did, if they knew mama was coming home at 4, they started cleaning at 3:50.
That's true. That is true.
Because people really don't like rules being established on them. And that is the reason why I don't deal in rules. I just deal in boundaries. And I'm like, okay, you don't have to accept it, but this is how I govern my life. If you think about it, even in a relationship, two people come together. What about the person that only pays bills when they come in the mail pink versus somebody that pays them when they first come out? Those two people are going to always be in contention because they be like, man, we got 2 more weeks before we pay this bill. And you ain't going to be understanding that behavior because that's their standard. Their standard is always paying something late.
That's true. That is true.
So a boundary governs my behavior. And I hope at some point tonight we really begin to just talk very clearly about the difference between a healthy boundary and an unhealthy boundary. Because a lot of people...
Let's talk about it.
Okay. When we actually really just look at it and we're not going to even just talk surface. Let's just talk what's real. A simple truth is that relationship, marriage, again, it doesn't erase individuality. And we have to really understand, Nick, that boundaries aren't walls. They're just simply guidelines that help two people stay connected, safe, and respected. I'm going to say it again. A boundary is not you creating a wall. And some people are creating a wall when that's not what a boundary is. A boundary is not you creating a wall, but rather it is a guideline that helps the two of you stay connected, safe, and respected. Truth of the matter is that without boundaries, relationships are offered to suffer from resentment. When you don't have boundaries, that is going to happen. You're going to deal with burnout or you're going to suffer from emotional distance. Because what a healthy boundary does is strengthen the love that you have for that person, the trust that you have for that person, and it also enhances your communication between you two. We always said often, what's understood don't need to be explained. There are times that you and your significant other, your partner should have a love language. We can be in a room full of crowded people, never say a word, touch each other, and we've communicated everything that we want to happen in that moment, just by a touch, by a look, because we understand our level of communication. Because that's what a boundary does. And so what boundaries are, or let me just say it this way, there are types of boundaries that we need to really consider, and I'm going to give you 4. One is a physical boundary. A physical boundary is just my mate needing personal space. And just because you're needing personal space don't mean there's a problem. Well, y'all remember Color Purple? And he looked across the table and said, she said, I'm going with Suge. And he said, what? Suge said, Celia's coming with me. And he said, what? I said, Celia's coming with me. He looked at Celia. He never addressed Suge anymore. He looked at Celia and said, what's wrong with you now? Because all she was needing was just some personal space. Physical boundaries, personal space, comfort and affection, time alone to recharge. Y'all listen, for those of you who are listening, there's nothing wrong. And Nick, I feel like you're finna throw me into this. I see what you're doing. You ain't slick. There's a need for some of us to understand that your partner just simply needing some alone time is not because they no longer desire you in the way that they do. It's just simply they need time to recharge. When we're dealing with life the way that we are, dealing with our responsibilities, situations, sometimes we just need time to recharge. Emotional boundaries. The first is physical. The second one is emotional boundaries.
Hold on. Put a pin in it.
Put a pin. Let's do it.
Go back to what you just said. It's not about not spending time with your mate. It's about being able to recharge. Everybody can't be with you 24/7, 365, all day, all night. You all have lives. You have a life. Your mate has a life, and there comes a point. And please, sorry for the echo, guys. We're having technical difficulties. There comes a point where, as individuals, you still have to do the things that you need to do as an individual, and that's what physical boundaries are about.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, moving on to number 2.
Emotional boundaries. First and foremost, how partners speak to each other. That is key. That is significant. Do not talk to me like you're standing over me with your finger pointing down at me like you're scolding me. I tell a lot of men, even when I counsel, when you scream at a woman's head, can I just say it the way I want to say it? When you scream at her head, her ass don't work. It shuts down. And some men don't understand that. How you speak to your partner is an emotional boundary. Respecting each other's feelings, even when they differ from your opinion. That's an emotional boundary. Understanding your partner's emotional limits. Watch this. I have told people so many times, most people don't even really know their partner's temperament. And that is something that is key when you're dealing with relationships. You need to know your partner's temperament. And that's number 2. Those are your emotional boundaries.
So let's talk about the temperament. If you know that your partner does not respond to yelling, why do you default to yelling?
Control.
If you know that your partner needs 10 minutes to decompress when they come in the door, why do you just automatically start in as soon as they get in the door?
Control. It's all about control. The whole aspect of it is control. I want you to do what I want you to do when I want you to do it the way I want it done. I don't care that you need 10 minutes. Again, that's what I'm saying. It helps both people feel safe. It helps both people feel respected. It helps both people feel loved. And so if I understand that you need that 10 to 15 minutes to defrag, but you're coming in the door and I'm immediately just ripping off one the moment that you walk in, I don't care about what you need at all.
Correct.
I don't care about what you need.
So I'm going to amend what you said. It's not just about how you speak to each other, but how you communicate to one another.
So true.
So keep in mind your communication styles and habits as you interact with your mate.
But remember that I gave the initial statement that at a healthy boundary, it strengthens love, trust, and communication. So that is most certainly a part of it. Thank you for the amendment and putting that in there, because many times we look at it as not just, it is how we speak to each other, but it is also understanding how to speak to each other. So
Yes.
you are absolutely spot on.
Okay, number three.
Number three would be time boundaries.
Mm,
Time boundaries. If you know that your partner needs time with you, carve it out. Make it happen. Make it happen. Make it happen. We understand that life happens, but make it happen. Protect date nights. Protect the PDA. Protect your, you have to protect that. That's what I call a time boundary. You got to protect that. You got to make sure that they know that even though we are not in the same space with each other, that I am not auditioning for somebody to take your space when I'm not in your space. Watch this. You have to schedule rest. You got to schedule family time. You got to schedule hobbies, things that you love to do, because again, that's a part of it. That's your individuality. Schedule those things. You have to balance work and home life. In many cases, your home life could be more stressful than your work life. In many cases, your work life can be more stressful than your home life. But whatever that looks like, you have to make sure that you are balancing the two out, that your relationship does not suffer because of it.
I'm going to echo those sentiments, but I wanted to give a shout out. We have a new person checking us out tonight. Thank you for joining us, Taylor Davis. Glad to have you. And, jump in, comment, interact. That's what the convo is for. And he is
Absolutely.
joining
Welcome,
us
Taylor.
from YouTube. Nick Coley, we see you. Thank you for being here. Um, I don't see anybody else right now because we did get started a little late. We apologize, but technical difficulties. We're still here, bringing you the combo. Okay, we were talking about time boundaries. What I like to tell people is you have to be intentional with the time you spend with your mate. How else do you get to connect, understand, know, spoil, however you want to put it? You don't get to do those things if you're not spending time. So for me, a time boundary would be, do we have a date night every Friday night or Thursday night or Saturday night? Like what is the cadence of the time that we are spending together? And if something happens that prevents us from spending that time, how do we account for that? So to me, that's all a part of the time boundary. You have to protect that time from other people. Don't allow other people to bogart their way into the time that you already intentionally put aside for your person.
Wow. That's
But I
good.
said a lot.
No, that's good.
Listen, one of I operate in a my love languages happen to be like a point a piece apart from each other. One of mine is I'm big on quality time, and I feel like if you cannot devote the time to your partner, then why do you have a partner? Come hell or high water, rain or shine, snow or sleet, you have to be able to spend time with your partner. And if you can't be in your partner's physical presence, there are things that you can do to still spend quality time.
I agree.
I'm not opposed to a text. I'm not opposed to, several texts during the day. I'm not even opposed to a Zoom date, Teams date, Skype date, whatever you're going to call it. But you have to be intentional with the time that you spend with your mate. Because if you are not, other people will seep in and take that time away. And then you're going to be looking like, well, what happened? You weren't spending time with your mate.
I gave an example of something to do, and it really works. They lived in two separate cities, and they wanted to go on a date. And I said, well, here's what I want you to do. I said, do y'all have the same restaurant like in like the same city? So let's just say like Snooze. You know, is there a Snooze in both of your cities? And they said yes. I said, so here's what I want you to do. I want y'all to go to Snooze at the same time. And I want you to then turn your cameras on and literally share a meal with each other by camera and sit there with the phone on the table, talk, communicate, you know, go through, establish, do whatever that looks like, but enjoy that date. And it worked. It worked.
Because it is about the time that was carved out to spend with your partner.
Absolutely.
I dated a guy who lived in a whole nother state. We weren't just, you know, different cities in the same state. We were a whole different state. So one year, it was my birthday and he could not travel because there was things going on at work. I could not travel because there were things going on at work. So for my birthday, I got surprised with flowers. Did not expect that. But we sat down and had dinner for my birthday. Best date ever. We had so much fun just on camera with each other as we're eating dinner, celebrating my birthday. It don't have to be outlandish or outrageous, or it's the simple things, it's the little things that add up and mean a lot. So just be mindful of your time boundaries.
It just has to be intentional. Yeah, it
Intention
doesn't,
is
like you said, it
everything.
just have to be intentional.
Number 4.
Ooh, and you know what? I think we're gonna do five. Let's go. But let me give you number four.
Okay.
Number four is going to be financial boundaries.
Mm,
Financial boundaries, spending expectations, joint versus separate, transparency and accountability. Here is the reality. Now, again, this is, we can talk from the dating stage or we can talk also marriage. But I think just kick it in with just marriage, a lot of people have asked me before, do I agree that married couples can have separate accounts? I absolutely agree that married couples can have separate accounts. I also agree that I need to have access to said account. Access simply means understanding the logistics of said account. What's in it is transparency and accountability. So having it is not a problem, but it's the fact that I don't have view or understand its, you know, its makeup is the problem. And a lot of times I think that's where we miss it. You know, we don't want our left hand to know what our right hand is doing.
okay.
But
I'm
I,
gonna take that a
but
little
go
bit
ahead,
further.
go ahead.
So when I think about financial boundaries, and I'm gonna talk from a dating relationship first and then marriage. When you are dating, to me, financial boundaries just simply means that you taking care of your stuff, I'm taking care of my stuff. If
Gotcha.
something were to happen, we should both be in our relationship should be a safe place. So if something were to financially happen and I need to request assistance, I should be able to come to you for assistance. And I'm only
Absolutely.
talking in the dating phase. Not that you are obligated because we are dating, but we should have a safe place amongst each other that if something were to happen, I should be able to say, honey, can
I
we,
need you.
I need your help on this.
Gotcha.
Now, on a marriage, level, because I've been married before, in my mind, the financial boundary includes not only do we have transparency and accountability with each other for our financial moves, because we are one, because we are married, because when you get married, the two become one. I'm okay with separate accounts as long as the household bills are taken care
Absolutely.
of. And just speaking from personal experience, you should not be married to someone and you cannot trust that person with financial responsibility.
Can you say that one more time for the people in the back?
Should not be married to someone and you cannot trust that person with financial responsibility. And I will give you the caveat that there are people who are not fiscally responsible. So if
At
you know
all.
that issue and you know your partner is fiscally responsible, there is nothing wrong with your partner handling the finances for you as a unit. But there still has to be accountability and transparency when it comes to the financial moves that you make. Just because one partner is stronger than the other does not mean the strong one makes all the decisions point blank in the discussion, period. You are a unit, so you still have to discuss things before you pull the trigger on things that require finances. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Perfectly said.
Okay, number five.
Number 5. And here we go. Because this is where most relationships fail. And many times in relationships, when we don't have this boundary in place, fights occur, misunderstandings they occur, and I'm gonna tell somebody to touch your neighbor and ask them, do y'all practice social boundaries? And when I say social boundaries, I'm talking about friendships, family involvement, and social media behavior.
Wait, say that one more time.
When you were talking about the boundaries for social behavior, we're talking about friendships, family involvement, and social media behavior.
Preach, preacher.
Because sometimes we divulge too much to too many people about what's going on in our relationships. Everybody, and I'm just saying, even if you have a trusted source, I still think that you and your mate need to agree how much of your information you're going to divulge, even to trusted sources.
Yes, I would
You
agree with
gotta
that.
have you gotta have a boundary on what you will share. So let me just give you a prime example.
Okay,
I don't know,
when we
I don't know
we
why
said
I'm
it,
going here, but let's just say that your partner suffers from
Lord have
erectile
mercy.
dysfunction, and I don't know why that just came to my mind, but y'all start having a dinner like the clumps. And remember,
Why are we like this?
I don't know, but I love it. So remember when grandmama Clump started telling can't get it up, Cletus.
Oh Jesus!
And so he was like, I'm just a big old joke to y'all later. And but see, that was something that she should have never shared with her family.
Correct.
Do I hear somebody laughing in the background? You have to know your limits on what you will share, and you have to be in agreement that there are just some things we won't share with family, or because many of us have experienced this where you've told your family certain things about your mate, and you and your mate have made up, and the family's still mad.
Yep.
Now y'all come around, and every time somebody says something, then it ain't what you said last week when you was out hoeing, like and and then they looking at you like, why you telling all our business, or why and some we have to be mindful of what we're going to share, and then like I said, also friendships. I'm just going to give you something that Patrick don't do. Patrick ain't big on that's my play brother. Patrick ain't big on that.
I can understand why.
Patrick ain't big on the play brother thing. Now, I've seen some relationships where that worked, but then I also seen some relationships where that's just somebody that's been liking you and you haven't given them an opportunity yet, and they just keep hanging around waiting on their chance.
So I'm on, okay.
And so that's just, and so they call themselves your play brother. But I'm gonna tell you, like they said in tonight's conversation, you ain't supposed to know what your play brother and sister look like naked.
Well, so I'm I'm trying to say this with a straight face. So in my mind, social boundaries when it comes to friendships, I dated someone who did not believe that women and men could have platonic relationships with members of the opposite sex.
Okay.
So for the year and a half, 2 years that we dated, although I have plenty of male friends that I just have platonic relationships with, I ain't never wanted to do nothing with them. They really are like big brothers to me at this point, because I mean that's who they are. Like if I call them, if I say something, they show up for me. But because I was in a relationship with someone who did not believe that, I had to limit some of the time that I spent with those people because it was uncomfortable for my mate.
And I can see that. But here's my thing. You ever seen, there is I can't think of the name of it, but they do it on, like you see some of the videos on YouTube, you see them on Facebook, but it's the video when the people are saying, this guy or this person is my friend, and the guy says, call them and ask them to come sleep with you. Like, and if they like, and do they like, is that's your friend? Like, yeah, that's my friend. And they know your man, like, yeah, they know that's my friend. Like we ride or die. We this so forth and the other. He says, well, do you think that they like you? No, they ain't never crossed the line. They've always respected me. They've never. But when you call that person that claims to be your friend and offer them the opportunity for there to be something other than a friendship, they always be like, I've been waiting on you, or I just been this so forth and the other. So here is where I think it's a challenging thing. I do believe that men and women can have platonic relationships. But here is the thing. They need to have those platonic relationships with boundaries, clear understandings as it relates to my relationship. And now my thing is, you ain't going out with your platonic friends more than you're going out with me.
Correct.
Every time I turn around, I'm seeing y'all at happy hour together, and I'm seeing y'all at, Cinco de Mayo celebration, and it's November. Ain't no Cinco and no Mayo nowhere in this situation, but yet y'all are always out. Like, no, we have to really understand. That's why I said it has to be a boundary. Like case in point, there are some women that will not dress in a certain way unless they're with their man. I've
Correct.
always used the word sexy, and the word sexy to me relates to sexual. So when somebody is always dressing sexy, my question is why? Because y'all can forget that noise about, oh, this just to make me feel good. No, 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 no. There's no way that you don't know that going out of your house wearing a bandage as a dress is not going to yield attention.
Not a bandage.
And you know that thing that just go crossways on top of both breasts and the whole midsection is out and all this is going on. And that's what you wore out. And it
Right.
stopped right underneath where the Allegheny crosses the Mississippi. And and that's where everything is just showing. But you talking about you want men to respect you, and just because I dress this way don't mean that I'm looking for attention. Well, let's
But you
just
are.
let's exactly. I'm glad a woman said it, but you
But you
are.
are. Well, because I feel the same way when men walk out in skin tight shirts and skin tight pants, like ain't nobody gonna see your junk. I mean, listen, skinny jeans ain't for everybody. And
Well,
if you
first
go
of all, if
past
a
a
grown man
certain
wearing
age,
skinny jeans, if I see a grown man wearing skinny jeans, please come by me so that I can slap you in your face real good. Cause
but
ain't
I'm
no
just saying,
grown man got no business wearing no skinny jeans, and I'm gonna say that on everything I love.
but I'm just saying, like to be just because they make it, don't mean you supposed to wear it. And the way I dress when I'm going out with the girls is not the same way I dress when I'm going out with my sweets. Like it's not. And on this social media behavior,
Uh oh,
stop telling everybody your business on social media.
uh oh, and y'all be talking to
I'm just
strangers too, like people that you don't even
about your
know.
business on social media. So, and I'm gonna give you an example. I had someone come in my DMs because I'm in a bunch of different groups for various reasons because I like to stay abreast of topics. So this young man came into my DMs, and when he came into my DMs, I noticed that it wasn't just a oh how you doing, let's get to know each other, da 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 da. It was it turned really sexual real fast. So I shut that down, and I was like, I have a man. I'm not entertaining any kind of conversations. I'm not on social media to find love. Don't need social media to find a date. I ain't trying to cheat. I'm not, that is not my focus. So every time this person who is now blocked, every time this person reaches out to me, it was sexual in nature. So it's like, sir, I've already told you once, I'm not interested. I've told you twice, I'm not
What's
interested.
what's they what's their initials and all the letters after their initials? What's their name?
I'm not
That's it.
saying I
Dang.
because it's I handled it.
Is it in one of the ones that we in together?
I believe so.
Oh, come on, Nick. Let me get him. Let me get
So,
him. Let me get him.
mm, but
You gonna let me get him? Okay.
every question he asks is a sexual question, and for me, that is a social boundary. If I were single and I entertained it, that was one thing. But I'm not single. I am in a relationship. So if I tell you that I am in a relationship and just stop the conversation like I'm not interested, you then get blocked. Because I have to respect the boundary that I set.
That's good.
You're not following the rules because I've already told you multiple times. So now you have no access to talk to me. You get blocked. And I put on social media not too long ago. Social media is just what that is. It's social.
It's social.
I'm not on social media trying to find love. the person that I met, we reconnected through social media, but we weren't on social media trying to find dating for each other. Like, that's not how that happened. Social media is social, and people tell you things on social media that they want you to hear. Half of the time, these folks ain't even telling you the truth.
Come on, that's real.
So, when it comes to social boundaries, understand, don't be putting your business out here for family, friends, or social media. Protect your relationship at all costs. You are in the relationship, not them. So it is your responsibility to protect your relationship at all costs. And if something starts to go down and you feel uncomfortable about it, block them. And you can even do that in real life. Stop talking to folks. Stop giving people access to you and your relationship. That's all I'm saying.
There is a young lady that I love her for this reason, and many people don't like it because they said that she kind of has a mean girl spirit at times. But she, being a person who always hold people accountable is a really good thing because people don't like being held accountable. And I say one of the things that I think that we should always do, and many people don't like doing this, but here is just something that Patrick feels. I feel like when you got people that keep disrespecting those simple things that you're asking them to do, people may not like it. Put them on blast.
Mm-hmm.
Put them on blast. And I guarantee you, if you say it loud enough, people will start to get the message and understand that it is unacceptable behavior. But the problem with us, like case in point, I have a friend who, her and I used to we literally went to blows one day, verbally back and forth, because we have a mutual male friend who called her at like 12:30 at night, telling her that he's always been interested in her sexually and wanted to be with her. But here is the thing. First of all, I said, well, he just did a shout out to his wife on Facebook today being the love of his life. But he's calling you at 12:30. And I'm like, and the trip part about it is she was like, she wasn't even offended because she's like, well, I never told him that he couldn't call me at 12:30. And the reason why it was a problem is because when she told her significant other, he was very upset because even after the guy said what he said and she, bunny ears, shut it down, they continued to talk on the phone for another hour.
Oh, wow.
So I told her, I'm like, you clearly violated boundaries by just staying on the phone with this guy after he did what he did. And I said, and I also believe that you need to send that message that he inboxed you to his wife. And she was like, well, why should I hurt her? Because she haven't done anything. I'm like, you're not hurting her. You're making her aware.
Correct. There's a difference.
There's a difference.
So I'm on, as we close this out, because I'm being mindful of time, protect your relationships at all costs, people.
Yes.
It's your relationship. And when it comes to boundaries, just remember the boundaries protect you. The rules is how other people govern themselves based on the boundaries you have set for yourself. Closing thoughts?
Well, look at it this way. When you look at a game, whether it's a game of football, a game of basketball, all of them have rules. And what I don't want you to experience by dealing with unhealthy boundaries is feeling drained, feeling taken for granted, feeling like, as you just said a second ago, that one partner is controlling all the decisions, that you have a lack of privacy, arguments that repeat without resolutions, that you're in a relationship where you have to walk on eggshells, that spouse that says, or that person that says, if you loved me, you would. No, that's not a boundary. It's unhealthy. That is emotional manipulation that violates safety and protection. And we have to understand, as she just said, I couldn't have said it any better. It's your relationship. But I'm going to tell you something, as well as protecting your relationship, protect yourself.
Mhm.
Have standards for your own life. And even while in a relationship, there are just some things I won't do. Have a boundary for yourself. And last parting words, y'all remember the lady that said that she ignored all of her friends and got a ring? There you go. All of her friends were telling her, girl, you crazy. I wouldn't cook for him. I wouldn't go over there and help him with his laundry. I wouldn't be cleaning his house. And she said she ignored every last one of them. And then she showed them her ring. And all of the friends who was telling it are single. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, to each his own. Don't do girlfriend, don't do wife duties, and you're just a jump off, and you're not even defined as a girlfriend. And don't
Oh,
do
but
wifely
let me
duties.
just also say this. He was reciprocating the same. So they were doing the same treatment. And so that I do understand that that was mutual. So she wasn't doing more than she was receiving. So I respect her decision because they were both mutual in what they were giving to each other.
I was gonna say that. So thank
Okay,
you.
I'm sorry. You're welcome. You're welcome. Because
I'm
I
just
want I want you doing my laundry with a maid uniform. I need you covered over there being like Shayla in the Country Wayne video.
listen, I'm all for reciprocity. But what I'm saying
Absolutely.
is if you've been dating somebody for 2 months and you don't even know where y'all going, y'all not courting, y'all just dating, and y'all are dating other people,
Absolutely.
y'all ain't even exclusive.
Absolutely.
Don't do wifey behavior for somebody you not building a future with.
And I
That
agree
that's not how that works.
wholeheartedly.
But if
Wholeheartedly.
there is look, I can't even talk. If there is
Reciprocity.
reciprocation and reciprocity,
Hmm.
I don't have a I don't have a problem with that. You cook for me, I cook for you. You helping me around this house, I come help you around your house. I mean, and if there was the establishment that we are in this together and we are courting, because there is a difference between dating and courting. If we have defined our relationship and we are in a relationship and we are in it to win it and we are courting, then okay, we need to help each other out in whatever way we can. So I'm all for reciprocity. I'm saying
Absolutely.
don't be expecting people to cook and clean and do your laundry and all of that, and y'all ain't even defined that y'all girlfriend, boyfriend, or where y'all relationship is going. Stop
Amen.
that. But back to
You
the
was just
boundaries.
you was just about to cuss. Don't you cuss on this show.
I was not. I was not. Today for the good day. Y'all getting a good Adrian today. Nick in a good place today. Um, so yeah, same time, same place. Sorry for the late start today, but same time, same place next week. As we continue this conversation on navigating the highs and lows of your relationship journey. And
Absolutely.
I think we might talk about something really good next week. So we'll see y'all next week.
Y'all be good.
Peace.
Peace.